All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up our love section of our website so we can get moving on to our who section. And we're going to do that by wrapping up the things page and just using a few things that we already have learned, and then additionally learning about how do we take care of these links. SEO friendly links, search engines don't really care to come and see what's called a parameter and a value, which is exactly what you're seeing when you see that question mark in the URL, and it brings a series of, sometimes you'll see it separated with an ampersand, and then this ID, let's say, equals blah blah blah. This is how we pass information from page to page to the server. It's called an HTTP GET, and we don't really like to have them because search engines do not like to see them. What they like to see is those SEO friendly URLs, where in this case we'll go ahead and we're going to take care of that first, and then we'll be able to see the difference and move on to finishing up our things page. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's do something called permanent links or permalinks. We can go into our dashboard and log into our website, and of course the first thing that we want to do, that we always want to do, is go ahead and create a backup of our website, make sure that we're good. So we'll go ahead and we'll do our backup. I just did that to get my selection boxes out there, and we're currently working on step 16. So I'm going to label that with step 16 and back it up now. Let our backup get going. And as it's taking a copy of things, I'm paying attention up here to delete old directories. This is where unused files tend to gather. And since we're doing a backup while we're in here, we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that as well. Just wait for the backup to complete. We can see it's backing up 1,300 files. It's quite a bit. And so now that we're done with our backup, we'll go ahead and we'll delete old directories. And it just gets rid of unused files, folders that we don't need anymore, that don't need to be there anymore. You can see they're all marked -old, which means nothing is referencing them. So we already know their absence is not going to cause a problem. And then on top of that, taking a backup before we delete them is always a good idea because then they're backed up in there. So back to taking care of permalink. So WordPress has built into it the ability, if we look under settings and we see permalinks. What permalinks allow us to do is set up the way that our links are going to be displayed in the browser and used by the web server. And the way they're used by a web server or displayed in the browser is very important to search engines and people getting to our website and being able to find things. And it's much easier when the name of when the link contains semantic words that we can use to identify where it is we're going to. And so we have plain, which is what we're using now, and we can see we have the parameters tucked away in there. Depending what you're setting your site up for, it may be really relevant to actually have the date structure set up in your site. You could use month, name, day. The other way to go about it is we could actually have the ID of the post or whatever the information is that we're trying to get a hold of. We could make that into a numeric representation. And then the most popular and what search engines like the most is we could use the post name. And the post name will actually put the name. So you'll see when we enable this and we go to our things page, we will actually see things in the URL instead of the ID. I believe it's 15 or 16. So let's go ahead and check that, and you'll see it puts down here in the custom structure the post name, and This is just a variable, a WordPress variable, meaning it'll get filled in with the post name and the actual name of the post. And let's save our changes. By doing that, we can now go back out to our WordPress website, and we'll see as we start to navigate, like when we go to people, we see it goes love people, just like our hierarchy of our menu. If we go to love things, it's love things. If we go to who, it's who. Search engines really like to see this. It helps them, adds validity to your page, and helps them understand what it is that you're putting into your site. Awesome. So there is some reading and videos included in this lesson for SEO friendly URLs and permalinks that you're expected to read and review. At the least, just having a fundamental understanding of what these SEO friendly permalinks are and how we benefit from them is the most important point here. So be sure to pay attention and understand what they are and how they work for us, and how they allow web crawlers to report back to search engines more specific and detailed information that those web crawlers and search engines really would like to see. Since we're on our things page, let's go ahead and edit it. What we're going to do in here is, just like we did with all of our other pages, we're going to insert a short code, and of course we're going to put a quote at the top of the page. My quote is I'm going to copy and paste it, and it's a great Helen Keller quote. Great Helen Keller quote that I'm a big fan of. Remember, your last quote will stick in there, so just go ahead and replace it, and don't worry about what you see there. Put my person in. I'm not going to have a URL to the quote page that I pulled it from. Do a live preview, and excellent. That's exactly what we are looking for. So we're going to insert that in there. Go ahead, do an update. Take a peek at it. And while I'm getting ready to peek at it, I have my style that we've been using. We want it to be shorter and kind of crunched in. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my style a while to the page. And it's the same style we've been using, the width of 70 with the margin auto. Auto puts equal amounts of margin on the left and right side. And if we hit update and we go back out and take a look, we can see it went ahead and it shrunk our page for us. So let's go back and let's edit it, and let's on our things page, let's just consolidate and bring some of that information together that we have on our page. And we're going to go ahead and put what's called a divider in, so that we can, I just went into shortcodes, hit divider, gives us an option to change the color and the size and the margin. We're going to leave it all the same, leave everything the way it is. There will be a link in it that says go to top, because as our page grows, we'll be able to go ahead and do that. If you saw, I clicked out of that modal, so I just need to hop back in there and get back to my divider again. And we're basically just going to go ahead and take the default. And if we update and we go out and we take a look, we can see that it put a divider in, and if our page was longer, it would actually bring us to the top of the page. So now we're going to go ahead, and inside that divider, we're going to just explore a couple of the shortcodes that we have available to us. And the one we're going to explore right here will be our gallery. So I can look for it, or I can actually just search for it just like that. And in our gallery, what we're going to tell it we want it to pull it's asking where's the source of the information that we want. And we're going to say, let's do most recent posts. And we'll just do that at the top of the page. It's asking how many to limit the number. We're going to say when we click on it, we want it to open a light box, which can be pretty cool. And just in case, we're going to set link target to new tab, meaning if it tries to open in a new page, it'll open a new tab, not in itself, not in the window itself, and take people away. We can set our width and our height. With our width and our height, we could just take the defaults for now and tell it to show titles when we do a mouse over. And so we can go ahead, we can do a live preview of that if we would like, and we can see that that's what our gallery is going to look like. And it's really just pulling the images from our most recent posts. And let's go ahead and insert that. So that puts our gallery in, and we want to put a divider underneath that as well. Let's save it, take a peek, and see what this looks like. And so now we can see it threw together a little gallery, not exactly the best looking gallery, but something we could take care of later in time with the with CSS. We'll leave it go for now, and we can see it even lets us bring our pictures up, post our the pictures that are inside the gallery, and it lets us know what our gallery is. So one last thing, let's learn how to bring up, and if you notice, we still have our websites over here on the right, so we're kind of pulling a combination of things under the love all together in here, and we're going to edit this page again. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to explore just doing a random post and have it just pull a random post every time it draws. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do a post. We'll leave that template set the way it is. We'll talk more about templates later. The post ID, we can, let's just leave that blank. That's telling us if we want to pull specific ones. Let's set this to post per page. We'll do one. We'll do posts. We'll use the taxonomy of category. And let's just go in and grab things we love, not people. And for the sake of this, we're going to go ahead and let's put it at family and friends and others as well, and people, just to pull it in so we can have a look and see how it makes it random. Do a live preview, and it's just going to pull a random quote and all the full body text of that random quote as well. So we'll go ahead and insert that in there. You can see exactly what we're doing here. You can take a look. And I think what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to put in here, make some adjustments. So you'll have to pause it and take a look at it then. Because we really don't need posts per page. What we do need is I'm going to say single post. Let's our taxonomy be what it is there. And let's actually just trim it down to 4 or 5. And then what we want to do is order by random. And we're going to go ahead and put a divider under that as well, because if our readers, if it's a long post and our readers are down there taking a look, we want them to be able to scroll to the top if they choose to. Now if we go out, we take a look at our page, we can see we have our quote in there. We can see that we're pulling in just a gallery based on our posts of pictures. And we have our random, and if we click on that, it takes us to the top. You can see right now it's pulling a friend of mine, Sean Nafsinger. If I refresh it, now it's pulling civil disobedience, a book, and it'll just keep randomly pulling one of the posts that we have available for it to read. So awesome. So pretty quick and painless lesson. So go ahead and get your things page updated. Make sure you get the permalinks, and make sure that you read the information that was provided to you on SEO Friendly URLs and permalinks. Really important stuff. No matter what, if you're in marketing, if you're in any department that's being represented on the web, one of the pieces of feedback you'll be able to contribute to the development department is keywords and how you think those links would work best in getting your product or your service or your the information that you're trying to convey to your potential client, customer. We call that a conversion, bringing them over and winning them in. It's super important that you understand what these links are, no matter what, whether you're development or not. So until next time, we'll move on. Next time, we'll move on to our timeline. And until then.